if you are looking to escape the TVA and you want to hide in an apocalypse sterile,
Yes.
don't follow Sylvie. Don't follow her at all.
Yeah. Don't follow Sylvie for anything,
Yeah,
really.
she was kind of weird. I I don't know Sophia Di Martino from anything, right? The lady Loki Sylvie. Um but I feel like they needed to pick an actress who could command the screen like Tom Hiddleston does.
Yes. So, so a funny thing, a couple of my friends, in the guys chat I have, one of the things that one of my friends wrote, he says, Mobius and Loki chemistry is greater than Loki and She-Loki chemistry,
Yeah.
which is 100% correct.
Well, I encourage everyone to go to Sophia DiMartino's IMDb page because in her profile picture, she's got this like weird, goofy smile with bright red lipstick on and kind of looks like a clown. Um, so not that she's not a pretty lady or anything, but like the only thing I've even seen, I think that she was even in was Yesterday, and I don't remember the character that she played in Yesterday.
I still haven't watched that movie.
It's okay. I like the Beatles. I imagine like the guy in Yesterday, if I woke up in a world where nobody remembered the Beatles, that I would probably try and remember all of their songs and write them myself. But as anyone who knows me knows, I don't know the words to any song, and I tend to just enjoy making them up to the melody more than singing them right. So, um, yeah. So she, Sophia, there as Sylvie, um, is definitely a lesser Loki.
Yeah, and one, we knew this was going to happen in the sense of not just because Loki has been a female in the comics, in Norse mythology, Loki has been
Yeah,
a female, but also that the direction Marvel has been going with this type of stuff. So it comes as no surprise. And it doesn't come as any surprise either that she's better than this our Loki in pretty much everything too.
yeah.
And that's
I we watched as a family. This time I did not watch it before, and when they were going through the TVA, and she's just like killing the TVA hunters and knocking them down and using their eraser sticks and all of that stuff, and like it was nothing. It's like, give me a break. I legitimately sighed like 4 times. Like
which
I was like,
honestly and which again, what did I tell you the first episode? That was my problem is how they took down Loki and how much trouble he's Asgardian. Well, he's technically, he's raised Asgardian.
yeah,
He's technically, giant,
yeah.
but
He's from
he
Jotunheim.
had all this trouble and this issues, and then she comes in, and does what I expected him to do based on his knowledge, his experience level, and all the stuff he can do.
Yeah,
Even without his magic, he should have
right.
been able to do all of that.
Right, because he's still got like strength and durability and
Yeah.
all
And
that stuff. And
1,500 years of fighting
but
experience.
here's the other thing: is when he was fighting Randy and the hillbilly dude in the mini mart or in the shopping center, he had access to his magic, and he still
Hmm.
got his ass kicked by a human.
Yes. And
So yeah,
and this is one of the things I think I said this last week. And I have been annoyed with the MCU, and I'm annoyed with a lot of stuff where they are very inconsistent with things. There is a scene in this episode where Loki force holds a building and pushes it back up. A
yeah,
building.
yeah,
And you're telling me he's getting his ass handed to him by possessed humans?
right,
It makes no sense. And it's taking a character, and I was conversing with my brother about this, a character that's a trickster, is a badass, and they're making him a joke. And
mm-hmm.
they've done this with Drax, and after the first Guardians of the movie, Drax is, I don't even, you can't even call him Drax.
Yeah,
I know people laugh at it and stuff. He's the butt of a joke, and he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Just like Loki shouldn't be.
Well, let's also talk about the other thing that Loki shouldn't be. That doesn't really matter, to be 100% honest. But Kate Herron, the director of all of these episodes, said from the moment I joined, again on Twitter, mind you, from the moment I joined at Loki Official, it was very important to me and my goal to acknowledge Loki was bisexual. It is a part of who he is and who I am too. I know it's a small step, but I'm happy and my heart is so full to say this is now canon in MCU.
The fact that she said that was her goal should have disqualified her from ever taking part in this show.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, Loki being... and then CBS's headline for this. Loki confirmed as bisexual becomes first major queer character in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wrong. Loki becomes the first self-insert queer character in the Marvel Universe. Yeah, I mean, like... it's just one of these things where... it's like I say about like Brian Bendis and Dan Slott. Who are you, Kate Herron, to stand on the shoulders of 60 years of a character and self-insert yourself into this character? What you're doing isn't writing. What you're doing isn't creative. What you're doing is self-insertion at the peril of the story you're trying to tell.
Yes. And that's the problem with this show so far. That was the problem. And again, I don't know what Malcolm Spellman said. I don't remember some of the stuff he said, but that was the problem with Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was too focused on inserting things, inserting messages, inserting, ideologies instead of telling a good story.
Yeah. I mean, remember back in the good old days when we were watching WandaVision and it's like, really, the only thing we could argue about is like, is she the villain or isn't she?
Yeah.
Like, the further we get away from WandaVision, and even though the finale wasn't great, the more whimsical I am for WandaVision.
Oh, absolutely.
Like all of the two shows that we've gotten since just make me wish they would have just stopped at WandaVision and been like, all right, we're good.
Yeah,
we knocked this one out of the park.
or just kept it up with, hey, we're going to do this what if series.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's animated. Yeah, that's done. Yeah. Because and again, we know this has been coming this has been going on in comics for years.
Well, here's the other fun thing about Kate Herron's tweet. This Loki's a variant. Loki's dead.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bi Loki in the MCU.
That's actually a very good point.
This isn't the win that these people think it is. Like, all right, you have a superfluous version of the character who is most likely going to be deleted at some point. All right, cool. The character's still dead.
Yeah, and I have a problem when people want to have a character that I get it when people say, hey, I can identify with this character because of this trait. Okay, whatever. But when you're a creator and you're doing that at the expense of a story that you should be trying to tell, that tells me you should not be anywhere near creative endeavors like this. No, do your own. That's fine. Yeah, do your own, but not taking someone else's work and then working your own ideology into it. That's where the problem we have.
It's like I like to say, who are you to change what someone great created? Make your own thing. Make your own thing.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. That's why they don't do it. That's why these people don't do it. It's hard to make your own thing.
That's why we're getting stuff like the Miles Morales clone saga. That's why we're getting the World War She-Hulk. That's why we're getting all of these rehashes.
I'm calling that World War They Hulk for the rest of my life. So,
and we know you could do that considering the supernatural thing. So,
what's supernatural thing? Is that like the Rocky thing?
Well, I mean,
or
the
the Buffy thing.
Supernatural 10-year anniversary. But as many issues as I had the biggest issue with that tweet, and it's basically telling me that the rest of this show, we can be almost assured that the rest of this show is going to be average at best.
I think you're way overshooting.
Way overselling.
How bad this is going to be from here on out.
But
we're halfway in. We're halfway in,
yeah.
and this is a Seinfeld episode. Nothing has happened at all in this series. Not one thing of note.
I will give this episode some credit. I did like the fight scenes, despite making Loki a jobber.
Yeah,
which he was absolutely a jobber in this episode. The fact that it comes out that all the TVA agents or what have you, they're all variants.
Yeah, that was
which
interesting.
I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And again, this has nothing to do with plot, but Loki singing that kind of like Norse song, like when he slows it down, not the fast version, but when he actually slows it down, there was something about that like it pulled some emotion out of me, because I like that type of singing.
Yeah.
And there was just something very intimate about it, and how he was looking at, well, I would say himself, but the other variant.
Right.
I really liked that. But other than that, that was it. That's what I liked about this episode.
I felt like this was just an MCU version of an episode of Doctor Who.
I've seen enough Doctor Who things about Doctor Who.
Yeah. So there was like a temporal device that was broken that they had to try and fix to get on, almost like a Bad Batch episode with the ship. There was a thing that was broken that they had to fix. There was a bunch of stuff falling. There was lots of running. There was a bunch of people trying to deceive and double cross each other. Yeah. Yeah, no, the best part of this was when Loki got drunk on the train and smashed the glass, and he said, "Another."
I like that, because that was the nice little callback to Thor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, it was a callback to his Asgardian, his adoptive Asgardian roots.
Yeah. So that was about it for me. Everything else, I still, maybe next week.
We only have two. We have 3 episodes left.
It looks like we're going to get the history, or the kind of like a quick history of Sylvie next week.
Yeah, I'm okay. Here's the thing: the less we know about Sylvie, the more interesting the character is.
Yeah, because right now I still don't have, I have no connection to her. It's how she's written. I don't think the actress, and again, I don't know if it's her, or because I know she's written right now. She's written poorly.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of she's not a strong enough actress to share the screen with Tom Hiddleston to feel like that she's anything other than a lesser Loki, right? Because when like the brief scene we had with Gugu Batha as Ravina Renslayer as the judge, and Tom Hiddleston, like, that was a good scene because she acted very well and very much in charge and very no, you're a god, I don't care, I'm the judge, I'm the one who's passing down your sentence. Mm-hmm. And Owen Wilson, who was woefully missing from this episode. Hell, even Miss Minutes, when Loki was trying to hit her with the jet ski magazine, had more chemistry than Sylvie did. So yeah, I don't know. So did you realize the little time tuner thing is called a TemPad? TEMPAD?
No.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. And telling. But anyway. All right. So let's say out of 5 busted TemPads, what do you call it? What do you give this?
Originally I gave it a 2.5, but I'm dropping this down to a 2, talking about it more, like Loki being a jobber. The CG was not good in this episode. It just, everything about this seems like they're skimping on budget, even though I don't think they are, but it just comes across that way. inconsistencies with the storytelling, particularly Loki. Make Loki who he is,
Make
not
Loki
some
Loki again.
Yeah, I was going to say that. But yeah, I give it a 2.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with a solid 4. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. No, I'm going to go with the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, I totally forgot this episode came out on Wednesday. It wasn't until later in the evening when I got a notification on my phone that there was a new episode of Loki available on Disney Plus. So
yeah. Well, see, I have a kind of it's donuts and Disney Plus for me on Wednesdays, and so before I start working, I get my donut, get some coffee, and I'll watch this.
Do you call that DN to plus?
Yes. And then I start work grumbling because I was upset with how this episode was.
Yeah, see, I came home from the gym and I didn't even think about Loki being on. I was like, no, I just got to work. But yeah, I think a 2 is a more than fair score.
I was about to say it's more than fair. It's more than fair.
It's downright lenient.